Hey guys, today I'm going to discuss with you the solution of the alternating array problem. So let's see the question. Anjali has an array of integers sorted in non-decreasing order. Non-decreasing order is another way of saying it's sorted in increasing order, and she wants to rearrange them in such a way that the maximum and minimum values alternate. That is, the first element should be maximum, the second element should be minimum, the third element should be second maximum, the fourth element should be second minimum, and so on. The constraints are low, so we don't have to worry about that. So let's see the sample input. So here we can see a sorted array which has the maximum value of 6, which is stored as the first value in the output, the minimum value 1, which is the second value, the second largest value 5, which is the third, the second minimum value, which is 2, and just like that. So in a sorted array, the lowest values will be stored from the beginning of the array. That is the first index, the second index, and third index, like that. And the largest values will be stored at the end of the array, which is the last index, the second last index, like that. So the way in which we solve the problem is by taking the largest values and storing it to a temporary array, and we take the largest values and the smallest values alternatingly and store them into a temporary array, and in the end we'll replace the values of the initial array with the temporary array, and we will get the required output array. So let me show you the algorithm to solve this problem. Okay, so we create a temporary array with n values and n indexes, and we will have initialize a variable small with the starting index 0 and large with the starting index. We'll initialize the variable small with value 0 and large with n minus 1. So these are the starting indexes and the ending indices of the given array. We will use this to get the smallest values and the largest values. And we have a flag variable with value true as the starting value. The flag variable will be used to alternate between storing the largest values and the smallest values. So we'll be looping from I to n minus 1 to store each values in the temporary array. So initially the flag is true, so this part of the code is run, and in this part we'll store the value in the largest value in the array, that will be in the index large, and the index of large is decreased, so the next time we use the large value, it will be having the index of the next largest value. That is, if the largest value is in the index 4, the next time the loop is run, we will get the index 3. Okay, so after this part is done, the flag is inverted, and in the next iteration this part of the code is run instead of this part, as the value of flag is now false. So this part is run, and in this part we will store the smallest value in the temporary array, and the value of smallest index is increased, so we'll have the second smallest value is index in the small variable. So alternating, then the flag is again made to true and the top part is run. So alternatively we will be storing the larger values and smaller values in the temp variable, and in the end we will have our output array in the temp array, and we will copy the values of temp array into the given array. And the time complexity of the solution is O of n, as the maximum times the given loop will run is just n times. So let me show you an example for the solution. So let's take the array with values 1 to 5, and we'll have a temporary array like that. So initially the small will be pointing to the 0th index and large will be pointing to the 4th index, and as flag is true we will be storing the value at the large index in the array to the temp array. So value at the large index, which is 4, is 5, which is stored in the temp array in the 0th index. Now the value of flag is inverted to false. So now the next part of the loop is the next part of the if condition is used to store. So in this part we'll store the value in the small index, which is 0, which is 1, into the temp array, and like that we'll be storing each values. The next time the value at the large index is stored, which is 4. Next time the value at small index, which is 1, which is 2, is stored, and in the end we'll have the required array as output after the after every element of the given array is looped through, and we'll have the output array as this. So let's quickly code the output also. I'll be coding in C++. Okay. This header file is used to include every header file in C++, so that you don't have to include any more header files. You just have to include this header file to include all header files. This is used to get the t-test cases, this part of the code. Okay, now we have the size of the array as n. We'll input that, and we declare an array of size n. Now we need to enter the values into the array. Okay, so we have the values in the array. Now let's call the function alter array, and we'll give the array and the size of the array as input. And we'll have the setting array in the array itself, so we'll output that as the answer. Okay, now we need to create the alter array function. It will have void return type. This will declare the temp array first, and we have the variable small and large, which will show the last index n minus 1. So what we have to do is we have to create a flag variable also to alternate between the larger values and smaller values. Initially we'll put that as true. Now if flag is true, if flag of I will store the value in the large index into temp array, else if value is false we'll store the value in the smallest index, which is the smaller values. Okay, at the end we need to copy back the values into the given array. So we copy it back. Okay, and in the loop we have to invert the flag variable each time. So first time this part of the code is run, next time this part is run, next time this, alternatively, until every we get value of every index in temp. Okay, now let's run our code. Okay, we have to end line after each time we print the array. Okay, the sample test case are passed. Now let's submit the code. Okay, every test case is passed. So I hope you understood the code and also my explanation. Thanks for watching.